Welcome to the Aisle Chat podcast with me, Beth,
Josh
and Ryan.
This podcast is all about exploring the big questions, the small moments and everything in between.
Whether you're stuck at the shops, in traffic or just looking for some inspiration, our chat is here to keep you engaged.
It's time to talk, connect and find meaning in those everyday moments.
Welcome to the Aisle Chat.
Yeah, all right. Episode 14?
So does it feel weird that you haven't got a mic in front of you?
A little bit strange, yeah. Obviously there's normally something there or there, and now there's just something just there.
Where are you today?
We'll get to that. But yeah, episode 14, it seems quite, because I've just asked you then what episode, it seems quite strange that we're already on 14. But I suppose if you're doing a weekly podcast, you'll get there very, very quickly, won't you?
Yeah.
And I think by this time now, we've ironed out all of our, we were talking about before, we've ironed out all our little, like, caveats. Little word for you there, a lot of people don't use.
Words of the week.
Words of the week, caveats, yeah.
Stealing Lucy's little tagline there. Hi Lucy.
But we're back.
We're back.
As always, got another guest on, which we can't wait to introduce in a second.
Yeah.
But, how is everyone?
All good. It's been good.
Right?
Yeah.
It's been another productive week. Obviously no weddings, but the editing side of things is slowly getting there.
And obviously we had a little trip to West Tower on Sunday, didn't we, for their wedding fair?
Well, that kind of encompasses all three of our, like, what weddings of the week, what did you do at the weekend type of thing, doesn't it? And we were all at West Tower. Obviously, everyone knows by now that West Tower is like one of our favourite places to go. Obviously, we're recommended suppliers there, which definitely helps.
Little name drop.
I felt, I said this to you on a day, I didn't feel like I spoke to that many people on that day.
Yeah.
Probably just because of the way that it was positioned or whatever else like that. But at the same time, I eavesdropped into your conversations, and it seemed
Just
dead
a gag.
promising.
Can't
Into
basically a
my
mad
conversations,
gag. Well, yeah,
my
that's conversation.
conversations.
It was basically Beth was there manning the fort for both, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And we were just like bystanders until you bailed.
Don't tell them that.
For a specific reason. No, I think it's worth talking about, because obviously, as well as being at West Tower, very premium day, shall we say. Our mates LFC went and won that little trophy, didn't they?
Shout out to LFC.
This is not a footy podcast, we know.
No, I'm not even touching on football on this podcast.
We haven't got that much time. But no, it was a good day.
Yeah, it was. It was really nice. And I think we've spoken about the past few podcasts, I feel like we're speaking about wedding fairs more and more, because it's something that we're going to more and more.
It's like flavour of the month, isn't it? I think that's what most suppliers do in the January, February,
Quiet
March.
seasons.
Focus on their admin, focus on getting past the end of their last year, which we're doing now. And then what does this year look like?
I feel like with the wedding fairs though as well, like anyone who is listening who's a bride or a groom, do you think, if say for example we were planning the wedding to leap year today, you know, still waiting for the question. No,
I think based on our location today, there wouldn't be a more opportune time for you, Beth. I don't even think you need a ring to propose either, by the way. I think you can just ask the question.
Just get down on
Just
one
saying,
knee.
yeah.
Yeah, get that fire exit door open. No, but do you think it's important for the bride and groom to go to wedding fairs? Like, or even if West Tower's not their venue, do you think it's still important for them to go there?
I think so. And the amount of people that you speak to are at a wedding fair, a specific venue or location, and they might already have picked somewhere else. I think it's the best place to go, because not only are you meeting people that you might not have ordinarily bumped into if you're looking online, for example, because obviously you're trying to feed into certain algorithms or whatever to find these people. It gives you more of a personal touch, because like we know, if people send us an inquiry through, they'll get a generic-ish reply. I mean, I think we'd like to try and always still be quite personal and like give them a response to their questions. But it's all words and text, isn't it? There's no physical, like, emotive sense to it. So I think going to wedding fairs, and I've said this to loads of potential bride and grooms over the past few weeks, like, this is the best thing you can do. Even before wedding fairs, I'd always say, like, try and at least have a phone call or conversation with whoever you're thinking of booking for your biggest day of your life, essentially, because you need to know that not only do their skills align to what you're looking for, that your personalities match. Because, you know, you see it time to time, don't you, where there's slight friction. Not with us, because we're all right. But like, sometimes you get people, don't you, where it's a bit like, I liked it, but there was that.
But not even like to meet the suppliers, I think just like for the general day, because I noticed from obviously on Sunday that I seen quite a lot of familiar faces of like brides and grooms. I was like, I recognise you from last time we were there. Yeah. But they were there this time with the partner or with the bridesmaids or with the parents, and I just thought like it's so nice that they can just keep coming and coming to either
it's like reaffirming your choice, isn't it?
Or like meet the suppliers.
But we had a few people, didn't we, who said like, oh, I seen you last time, and then they've pretty much booked off the back of that.
Yeah, it was nice. I think it's nice as well to, if you're going again back and forward to the venue and you see the same faces, you're asking them questions that you mightn't have asked the first time, and I don't know, just seeing them in a different, seeing them on a different day, you know, brings new questions, and yeah, that sort of thing.
One of my favourite parts about West Towers Wedding Fair was that Vanilla Nova was there, cake company.
Shout out Vanilla Nova.
Yeah, we like them.
Every single time I see him, I always ask him, will he save me a slice of cake? Because he obviously gives out slices of cake to potential bride and grooms. And he saved me some this week, so I was made up. So,
He
shout
also
out
saved
Vanilla
me
Nova.
some, but obviously you've gone by this point, so
I didn't get any.
you
I
couldn't,
didn't get any at all.
share in the spoils. Because we have approached them and they will be on in some point in the future.
Also, just reminded me as well, thanks for everyone who's got in touch regarding Lucy's podcast, Bethan's podcast. It does mean a lot to us when we are getting like new guests on and stuff, and we're hearing from new people telling us how much they've enjoyed the podcast. And even if you haven't listened to it and you listen to this one, go back and listen to theirs, because they were really good. And
to be fair, they're getting better, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, we're getting better at what we're doing. The guests are getting better, which we'll see again in a minute. We seem to be just like getting better each time, don't we? More like comfortable with asking certain questions and more comfortable with the natural flow of what this podcast looks like. And we're still very early days, realistically.
Definitely.
You know, we're less than 20 in, and we were only saying this before to our guests who are coming up. Like, we feel we've kind of already ironed out a lot of creases.
Yeah.
Is the easiest way to say it. So we'll get better, and hopefully you'll join us on that journey.
Anything to add before we go on to our guests?
No, I'm just like, obviously we do our little section of us at the beginning. I'm just like wanting to keep it as short as possible. Because I'm just so excited. I've got millions of questions bursting out of me.
No pressure, ladies.
So obviously, as we said, we've got a guest on, and I think for us, this guest, no disrespect to any of the guests that have been on so far or guests that come, but this guest for us had a bit of a biggest impression in my mind. I think just to kind of go back a little bit to where this guest came from our point of view, is I was actually driving to my mum's one time through the location where they're actually based at, and I remember just seeing like a little sign on the side of a wall basically, and I was just a bit like, I don't know that, and I just seen the word bride, and I just thought, right, I'll have a little look for that, and I went into Instagram and actually researched and stuff like that, found out that it was a bridal shop. I think people probably know by this point what bridal shop it is, but we'll go back to that in a sec. But as soon as I found this shop online and seeing what their interior looked like, seeing their like setup, I think this was even before we even started this podcast at all. I was like, in my head, we're going there. Somehow, I don't care, like obviously not I don't care, but I don't know how it was going to work, but we were going to find ourselves in this vicinity at some point. These won't know this probably, but I actually sent a little message way back when, before we even started the podcast, about potentially coming down and taking some shots in this place because it was so picturesque, which we'll get to in a second. But
hurry up.
For us, and I've just seen you have a little look to like, normally I'll give like a bit of a glossary of what the person is before they actually come to this point, but I think for us it's best to go from the point of not knowing forward. This isn't just a wedding. Is it a bridal shop? A wedding shop?
I was so close, because the conversation we've just had on there, this isn't just a bridal shop, this is an M&S bridal shop.
No. Don't wreck it, we'll have to pull that out and pull it back. This isn't just an ordinary dress shop, bridal shop, because you'd only have to look at the place to see how beautiful it is. And it is what they say is right, a bridal experience. So the guests, getting to, after all that, we'll probably cut all that out, is our new friends, bridesmaid Natalie.
Woo! This is the wide shot we've been waiting for.
This is the quintessential moment of this entire podcast. If nothing else goes right, this shot was it. Because
this is the only thing you're going to say.
You don't only have to look at this place to feel so like biblical. I feel dead like Jesus Christ standing there.
I was going to say, welcome to the Aisle Chat podcast, but I feel like you have welcomed us into your space.
Definitely welcome.
On our aisle.
Yeah. I know. It actually goes, doesn't it?
We couldn't be in a better place. As I said, like just in that little bit there, when we seen the setup that you've had, and like because I met you, didn't I, not too long ago at Isle Gladstone Wedding Fair. Shout out to Isle Gladstone.
Yeah.
And like off the back of that, I think we've just had a few people in and out of our little mix as well that have kind of like connected us even easier in a small way. Like obviously you had Bridal Sky not too long ago, gives you a little promo video, which was brilliant by the way. Shout out to them. And it's just made the whole connection a little bit easier to make, didn't it? And then, like we were saying before, we just seem to be very similar in our approach to what we do in our specific fields.
Yeah.
I knew that this space was going to be amazing because obviously I'd seen online. But the minute I come through the door and come up the stairs, I was like,
You're not prepared,
oh
are
my
you?
God, this is
You're just not
That's what
prepared.
brides do. As soon as we open that door, they're like,
Wow.
they don't even look at the dress. It's just like, oh my God, wow, this is.
I'm quite
gorgeous.
jealous from a male's point of view. When
I know,
I
yeah.
walked in before, I was like, we ever get married, I'm like, I'm never going to have to do
Well,
this,
you
am
know,
I?
we might be able to arrange something.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
2024.
Yeah. But yeah, when I walked in, I was just like, and
Blown
obviously
away.
I drive past bridal shops as you do on the high street and whatever, but coming into here was just an experience. So I think even for like brides or grooms who are listening, who want to go and see a shop, I definitely recommend coming here.
Yeah.
And that's not just because I'm sat here, it's because what I can see right now, obviously they can see this, look at that.
It took us, I would say, it took us a lot longer to set up than normal because we were so like in awe.
Yeah.
And then obviously you two were just both dead welcoming as well. We didn't even get past the door without asking for a cup of tea, did we?
Yeah, that was the even the biscuits. I was had biscuits then, just because I was being a drama queen.
Yeah, it is very nice. But otherwise,
It was a
anyway,
lovely welcome, thank you.
I know,
That
sorry.
No, it was really
just got carried away.
Switch over to the news now.
Yeah. Save yourself some time.
No,
Skip
it
that
was. It
bit.
was really lovely. Yeah, we're fine. Yeah.
Oh,
All
yeah,
good.
it's good. Yeah,
Thank you so
all
much for
good.
being on about it
thanks for
as
having
well.
us.
problem.
Don't even know where to begin, really.
So, how long have you been based here?
2 years in May.
2 years.
Yeah, so we actually got the keys beginning of April 2 years ago. So it's not, but then obviously fully opened.
Yeah.
Was it May? Was it May?
May 1st, I think it was the 1st or the 2nd of May.
Is that when
The
you were like
first
letting people come in,
appointment.
basically?
Yeah.
public?
So we had,
Well, we
like
had a week.
to turn around. So
Wow.
we left
Exactly a
our
week.
other premises, didn't
Yeah.
we?
Was
And then-
okay. So you have moved from a different space to here, right? Was this just like a blank canvas when you
Yeah.
came in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The carpet, that was it.
Yeah, there was nothing else.
Carpet in the
Carpets,
window,
no
obviously.
lights. Yeah, carpet
Whose
windows.
whose idea was this? The aisle?
Adele's, this was.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
Adele's
yeah.
husband made this.
Drag
yeah.
me
Shout
husband
out to
down
Adele.
here with a sword and a
Clever man. And he built this
screwdriver.
for us. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
and
very
he
clever.
sorted it. Yeah.
It does.
It just lends itself to it, doesn't it? This space, you know. And
I think people probably haven't seen it at this point, but they definitely will by now, is we are sat in a church, and it couldn't be more specific to the bride's day, really. I know a lot of brides don't get married in churches
Yeah.
these days anymore, but it still gives that like
tradition.
bridal
it is an emotion.
feel, doesn't it?
It is an emotion.
It is
isn't
an
And an
emotive,
appointments like that as well. Like you do get that
it's
emotion.
the feeling, isn't
you know.
it? Yeah. And I think that's why we call it an experience, because it isn't just buying your wedding dress. It is an
Definitely not.
experience, and it's an experience that goes on for 12 months.
Yeah.
18 months.
I
depending.
was actually going to say to you, like, could I just walk in off the high street, or is it more like I've got to book an appointment and go through that process with
It
yourselves?
recommends an appointment, but I wouldn't stop anybody just coming and knocking at the door. It's only because sometimes if you've got a bride already in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you-
Or
you-
two in.
yeah, or two
Yeah.
at once. Yeah, you don't
But
feel
if
like
we're
you're
not,
giving them that.
if we're not, and we're just sewing,
feel-
we'll gladly,
gladly
Yeah.
look after you. Yeah.
So how long does that experience last then? So if I was a bride, I'm speaking from like I'm just,
If Beth was a bride, it's probably more accurate. If Beth was a bride.
I want to know the whole experience.
Yeah,
So
same.
from obviously when they make an appointment and they come in, like who can come with them? How long does it normally last? Just obviously,
One
it's
at a
probably
time, Beth.
I know it's probably
What to
long.
expect,
Yeah,
basically.
what
Beth's
to
basically
expect.
looking to book an appointment by the end of the day.
So obviously
Back
when you
to
book your
diary,
appointment, I know the diary's there. When you book your appointment, obviously we will greet you at the door with a drink. You can bring as many people as you want. We don't normally stop that. A lot of shops do stop that, and I don't know if it is due to space or sometimes obviously opinions can make it more difficult
Yeah.
for the bride. But
Yeah.
I don't really ever say to people, I just say bring who you
Not
want,
really, no.
because
No.
I don't try and limit people to do, because it doesn't matter to me. I don't really.
the next door neighbours
Start
come with
digging
them.
chairs out of
Yeah,
everything.
there's a million
Everyone's
chairs
just
coming
coming for a
out.
nose,
Yeah,
aren't
we
they?
have 11 extra chairs for people, but it doesn't matter really. I think it's got to be the bride's decision then.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
I think
dictate to them.
from my
Who
point of
you
view, obviously
bring.
I'm married to Becky, who gets mentions all the time. Yeah. But when she went shopping for her wedding dress, she didn't come here. I don't even know if this existed at the time. Probably didn't. Otherwise she would have been here. But she did exactly what you've just said there. She went to a couple of different shops and she just didn't. I think she felt a certain way about the shop before she even looked at the dresses.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you get in here, aren't you? Like you're coming in, you're already feeling the warmth and like the vibes of the place.
Yeah.
You're already in your head. You're already telling yourself like, this is where my dress will be.
Yeah.
I must admit, I've never met you before until today, but I feel like just from I'm not just saying it, by the way, because we're on a podcast, but the minute I walked in, I felt like I hadn't known you for years, and even now, the way you say
like
it,
your aura, I was
yeah.
like just attracted to you both, and I
We're
was
like
like,
that with, like, we just like being normal.
You're quite like people's people, aren't you? You're very good at
I
like
love being
giving.
with people, like I love talking to people and like meeting and like we asked you 100 questions, didn't we, before? Like I just love knowing people's like background, what they do and about them, you know, because
and all the gag about the wedding as well. I love that.
Yeah,
We're all nosy asses, aren't we? We're all nosy asses. That's our like.
We just ask too much.
Throw a few dresses in the mix.
Yeah,
Great.
I was literally about to say though, from like a bride's perspective, coming in and being greeted by you two, that in itself, because I would imagine when they come in, they're quite nervous or overthinking what's going to be suited for them, and meeting you two must be just, you know, make them feel relaxed.
You say that, like, no, blown out.
You'd like to say? People love us.
We do get that, don't we? And we've made loads of friends as well, haven't we? There's loads of people who still stay in touch with us and everything. Like past brides, mums of the brides, everyone really. Yeah. Because we just end up becoming friends.
I think we find that as well, don't we? Like there is like a sense of a personal touch when you go beyond just being the supplier. And I think if you can come into somewhere like this and obviously have conversations with yourselves and you are so welcoming and warm like we try to be, it does go past that point of being like a customer, doesn't it? So I think you're right.
Lovely,
it lasts, doesn't it? We see it as well. Like people still send us messages all the time when their wedding was like a year, 2 years ago. And then separately to that, from a purely business point of view, that keeps it in the mix, doesn't it? In the family, because then their friends will talk about each other, their family, my sister's getting married now, and it keeps it connected, doesn't it?
Yeah, loads. We get
all recommendations. We had these girls coming from the Lakes.
Wow.
So this group of girls came, bespoke bridesmaids. There was about 20 of them. Well, bit of an exaggeration. There's about 10.
There's a lot of them.
500 of them came.
Yeah, so they came, and then off the back of them, like, we've had about 5 or 6 groups travelling from the Lakes just to come to us. Yeah, so like lovely, the words kind of spread through their little like and friendship
Wales
groups
well.
and whatever. And Wales, that's a big thing at the moment, isn't it?
Welsh brides.
So I was about to say, with this obviously being based in Liverpool, I would always just assume that, not in a naive way of thinking of it, because of the businesses out there, so anyone can come, but you just assume, don't you, sometimes that people passing are the ones who are going to be coming, but really it just goes to show people once you've people come from all far and wide.
Someone from Ireland as well, we get lots of
Ireland. A few from Ireland,
they come over, which
we're just going all over Great Britain.
It's nice, isn't it? It's a good thing.
It is.
I think it is.
I just think that like your wedding day goes so fast. I should know have had to. It goes so fast.
She's got the story all together. And everyone for us, because we didn't know this until now.
She just likes dresses, that's what it is. She wants another one now.
Yeah, keep on and see me husband. I've got my eye on my third, so you know. Get that turned on again. No, I just feel like it goes so quick, doesn't it? The whole day. It goes in a flash. So I feel like you've got to treat all the dress part of it and the photography and meeting all of your suppliers and everything as part of it.
I think so.
Because that's all.
It's all the story, isn't it? It's all your experience, isn't it?
So I feel like they've got to enjoy it, haven't they? And feel like
it's not just one day, is it?
No.
I remember, funny the way you said that before about like, you'll never come into a place like this. I remember when Becky was going out shopping for hairdress with her mum and her auntie and my mum and stuff like that, and she went to a few different places, and it was usually married up with some sort of like Prosecco lunch or whatever like that. And I was thinking, where's like the lads version of this? Do you know what I mean? You go to probably one shop,
pick
a suit. Like, where's the lads?
You take all your mates with them and they're all like, oh my God.
How's your body?
The problem is you just leave it to last minute, so you haven't got
That's probably a big part of it, to be fair.
So, speaking about that actually being last minute, do you ever get last minute people coming in?
Loads, I had 3 last week.
Really?
July,
This year, it's been nuts. They
got
get
someone
married
for April,
like tomorrow.
didn't we? Yeah, she's actually in today. She's got married in April, So people do it all the time. I don't know if it's more like common now, is it? I don't know. People to just do it quite quick.
What's happening, but it's changed. You get the extremes, really. We've got brides from 2025.
Wow. I was just about to say, how far in advance, somebody who's listening who thinks, right, I've just got engaged, when do I start looking at dresses, basically? How far in advance is that?
It does vary loads, mainly
I
like
usually
12
say
to 18
about 12
months.
months.
Would you advise that 18 to 12 months?
If you're a bit indecisive, yeah.
Do you get people coming in going, I love that, I want that, and then when they come for like the fitting again or something, whatever they do, I don't know, you
That
explain, I
happened
don't
with
understand.
COVID. That
Yeah.
happened with COVID,
Yeah.
didn't it?
Yeah,
So
you don't
they
now,
bought
but
the dresses
COVID was hard.
And then COVID happened, and then people were like having babies and everything. So everything changed during COVID, and then they've come back and they're trying the dress and they're nervous because they picked it like years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, they loved it.
The sense
They
of
all
styles
loved it. They
changed.
pick it for
Yeah.
a reason.
I've
Yeah,
heard
they
quite
usually
a
pick it for
few
reason.
stories, whether you can vouch if this is true, where brides have an idea of the style of dress that they want to wear, and then when they come in and try it on, they hate it and they go for something completely opposite. Is that something that occurs quite
It's
often? Or
probably less common now because I
it
think a lot of people know
happens.
now what
Yeah.
they want, and
Yeah.
it's completely different to 12 years ago when I started in the bridal industry. It was not like that, do you know what I mean? But obviously they didn't know about dresses, but everyone knows the figures
Yeah,
now. They know
I feel
what
like
suits
that's
them,
what I was
and
just gonna
which is,
say.
it's better for us really, because then you can sort of pinpoint what they should be trying on,
Yeah.
and otherwise they like. And you don't get me wrong, you still get the brides who will just try everything on because they don't know.
Yeah.
And we do recommend that try a variation, of styles. But a lot of people do know themselves now,
Yeah,
don't
tend
they?
to
But-
know the body
yeah.
shape, don't they? 'Cause
Yeah.
So
us
what-
women are all super critical.
What about me? What do you reckon I'd suit? Because I haven't got a clue, you see.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about me and Ryan here.
I've got a few in mind. for
Few
you,
of mine?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah,
Just talking about
definitely.
the way you just mentioned there about 13 years ago. So what we always try and do as well is give people like a bit of a history lesson to use. Not stupid and out the way.
It's
but
Ryan's history lesson of the week.
No, I'm just saying. Like, so obviously you said that you've been doing it 13 years. What is like your origin story? How did you use to kind of come to be at this point?
So I actually started Brides by Natalie 12 years ago. Sorry, did I say 13? Sorry, 12
Just add
years
another
ago.
year on there.
I know, yeah. It's actually 11 years ago this month that we actually opened the doors to the shop on the 16th of February. It was just gone. 13 years in October we formed the company, but I actually worked in a bridal shop before that for 7 years, and it was up in Tarleton. So I used to work for a company called the Bridal, whatever, I can't remember the name. And then they went...
They're not important anyway.
I love that you're rubbish. I need to remember them. I'm here.
But yeah, I worked for them, and I got that job through I'm a seamstress, so I've sewn all my life since I was 8 years old. So I actually got the job. Do you remember when the Echo used to have job advertisements?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Little
imagine.
tiny job
These don't.
advertisements.
These don't. They haven't got a clue. They'll only ever know the Echo online.
What's the I feel like I remember
They'll
that.
only know the Echo
Pages.
Do
online.
you, Beth? It was
Yeah,
only
I feel like I know
Yeah,
Do
that.
you remember the
Yeah.
Echo used to have like a little pull-out? Was it pink or yellow?
Pink
Something like
for the
that.
sport bit, yeah.
There you go.
yeah.
Did you remember that?
Pink Echo.
Yeah.
There you go. Iron's out there. But yeah, so
Yeah, you
what happened
saved
from
them.
there?
So I got a job in a bridal shop, and I worked there for 7 years in the run-up to... I got married in that period. I was 26 when I got married, and they went into liquidation. And I'd just left, actually. We were doing a bridal fair in Formby Hall, and I'd just left to have my first son. And during that period, this company sort of just basically went bust, basically. And they were in Wilton Village at that point.
And I lived in Wilton Village.
Adele lived in Wilton Village, so I sort of knew Adele back then,
Yeah.
from then. And then the five of us just set up our own shop with very little money. Yeah, and there was five women, and we just sort of put our own money in, and we did it ourselves. And up until last year, the last of the five retired. So Di actually
Well, you're
moved
the
to
last of the
France.
five now.
Sorry, the last
You're
of
the last man standing.
Yeah, I'm the last man standing.
There you go.
So Di actually retired, and she's moved to France. Yeah,
Oh,
so
lovely.
she came here
Yeah.
with us,
It's all right,
did a
isn't
lot
it?
of the work.
Yeah.
I know, and we miss her loads.
We
don't
do,
we? I miss
yeah,
all
because
of
she
them.
was like a
Yeah.
whiz on that sewing machine.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
Just like it down.
So this is just actually blew my mind. I did see the sewing machine before. Am I right in saying you do all the dresses from scratch?
Yeah.
I can't believe
We
that.
don't make all these from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can make dresses from scratch. We don't make everything from scratch.
Okay, I was gonna
So
say.
we buy them in, and then we alter them, and we also do bespoke
We do a bit of
bridal.
both.
Yeah.
So
Oh
yeah,
my God, that's
I know.
amazing. That.
One-stop
And then
shop.
we've
Yeah.
been here 2 years, haven't we?
Yeah, so that was going back to like the whole journey thing. Like once they buy the dress off us, they're with us. Then they've got us basically for anything they need up until
Yeah.
the day before they get married, when they come and pick the dress up. Whereas
That's
instead
so
of us
good.
just
That,
sending it away and sending them away
Yeah.
with it in a bag or whatever.
I
the
think
way
that's
they
so
do
good
the
that it's you do the alterations, because
Yeah.
obviously I'm guessing no other bridal shop does that. As far as I know,
don't
they
think
normally
so.
get
I don't
sent
think
off.
so. I
I
mean,
think they
there
have
might
separate
be,
sales.
I
People
think-
don't. They,
Yeah.
They do separate it, and I
Yeah.
think that's dead
Yeah,
important.
but we're not that
like,
salesy anyway.
Oh,
we're not
no.
like that, are
no,
we?
I would just rather someone walk in here and feel like they've had a lovely experience.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds mad from a business point of view, but I've always been like that, and I'll never change, and no one will ever tell me different. I'd rather them have a nice experience and tell somebody 10 other people to come here and not find the dress, but then they will bring the dress back to me to be altered. So we get loads of brides who don't buy the dress from us and still bring it to be altered from wherever they buy it from. And that's we've always done that. And like, I'd rather that just be the mates, do you know what I mean? And like make their day. Like, obviously, as best as it can be, don't we? And that's dead important as well.
I just think from a business point of view, that's even better than thinking business. Because I'm just hearing you say that, I go, yeah, I'd go with you now. Because I think, as you say, you want to become friends with people, and you want them they're going to trust you immediately. The minute they walk in the door, even as you say, if they haven't bought the dresses from me and they come back, the experience they've had here, they obviously feel like the trust, and you know, we could go back there anytime.
We're like proper girls as well. Like we love clothes. Like we both did a fashion course back in the day. That was like our where we started, and that wasn't it? We both did the same course. Nat ends up teaching the course in the end because like she's amazing. But so we just love dressing people as well, and finding like making them look the best, and
the whole party
giving
as
them
well,
the
like
confidence
the
about
mums,
their own
and the
bodies and
bridesmaids.
stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously body positivity. Got your teeth back in.
All about that body positivity.
Get me turkey teeth and not turkey teeth. Get them back in. But everyone's like, you know, as you say, everyone's nervous, worried about the shape and all that. So we just love dressing people, styling them and everything. And it's a big, you know, it's a big whole process, isn't it?
Yeah. And the fact that we do sew as well does, obviously, like, there's not a dress for everybody, and not every dress isn't perfect for everyone. So we can, like, obviously make straps, change things about.
Sleeves.
And I think sleeves, which Adele loves making a sleeve.
Sleeves, love a sleeve.
We've seen a few sleeves haven't we, in the last few years. We've seen like probably an increase in sleeves, in my opinion, anyway, over the last like year.
Or like removable sleeves. Like for the night time.
I love that. Yeah. I think that's popular now, isn't it? Definitely.
Your journey towards where you are now felt very natural and very like real. Do you know what I mean? There was no force, like we'll just work with you because it was like there was a story behind it, like fate almost. And we find that loads as well. It's very fateful. About meeting certain people, especially within our little industry, that we just typically gravitate to without even trying.
You were really busy one. Were you really busy one time? It was Christmas time, I'm sure. Sorry, I keep going like that to look at that.
Move them stupid microphones out the way.
And you were busy. Remember that black wedding dress? You were saying, do you fancy coming and doing a bit of sewing for me?
Yeah, she was in the other
So
day.
that was the first thing that I actually made for you.
Was it?
Yeah. It's on
How many years ago was
Got a
that?
good memory.
That was 5 years ago.
When was the wedding? 5 years ago?
No, I think the wedding.
Well,
no,
I've been married 5
you know.
years this year. So, 5 years. Yeah. Your William was 2.
Do you often get black wedding dresses? We've done it. We've done a wedding before where there has been a black wedding dress, which is a statement in itself. How just is that often, or is that like once every 3 months?
No, it's very rare.
Two, including that one. My sister-in-law got married last year. She had a black dress, which Nat and I made. And I think we've got a couple more maybe coming up that we can't really disclose.
I've got a little question off the back of that.
Yeah.
What's the most like, I don't even know how you'd say it.
Most out there dress?
What's the most out there dress you have done? It just in like your memory.
For me, probably Claire's. My sister-in-law's the black one from last year.
Yeah.
I think even going back to like years and years ago, I think that probably.
Oh, you did that big bespoke one.
Oh God, yeah.
You did that one.
Yeah.
How did I forget?
Here we go.
Oh my God, if she's listening, wow.
Do you ever
nearly killed
go on? You don't have to touch on it. Yeah, just brush past that part.
A labour of love.
Oh yeah, it was a labour of love, and I still make her. I'm actually making her mum something at the moment because her mum's lovely and she's a gorgeous bride. But wow, what a dress! It literally,
Explain it to us.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was just
Set the
like
scene.
this dress. She'd seen this dress that she wanted, and she knew exactly how she wanted it to look. So between us, we made it, and it had silk swirls which were like made into like a waterfall, but all over the dress. The dress must have had a 3 metre long train. It was huge. Fitted silk bodice, made in silk as well, so it wasn't just your normal fabric. You had to like be really, really careful, you know.
And that's where we got the shop from.
Yeah. That's
That's where the money came in.
But yeah, it was a really time-consuming dress, but worth it. And then I went and dressed her on the day, and I remember I've got a photo of her in a bedroom in her mum's, because she walked to the church, got married in Anfield, she walked to the church, and I remember being at the top of the stairs, me and my friends, we made it, and she just done like a thumbs up, like, that's it, you've got it, I've done it, you've done it, because it was like, we were making it, and
just got a little
things, and I've got a photo of her just doing that, and I remember thinking it was worth it, because it was hard.
You've
really
made it so
difficult.
happy, like.
Yeah.
Just,
So that
are you saying then you put it in the dress? Do people ask you to come and do that often, or is that? Yeah.
Something we do, it's like a service we offer.
Yeah.
So
We see it sometimes.
Yeah, we have
don't
seen it a few times.
Well, I've heard you talking about buttoning up the dress and stuff.
Beth, you'll be able to see this later. We'll have a little pracky.
Gonna put it to the test.
Beth will show you how fast you button that dress up.
Wow, God, you'd
It's
be
the
faster than
I
us.
feel since this podcast though, it's the pressure now. As soon as I walk in, she's like, "You're put me in my dress." I'm like, "Oh God, okay."
I think when
the
they see a female ad photographer or videographer or someone, they just automatically
gravitate.
think,
Yeah.
Obviously, I have had the job before with events. Go on, you do it, and I've been like, Beth.
That's keen to have around, isn't she?
And Brian's sad to have a go before, and he's just a waste of time as well. We'll
Not in a bad way, but I'm not there for that.
have a race.
We'll have a race today. We'll have to film that.
Yeah.
But I do think it's
timing.
nice that you come and obviously get the bride dress, because obviously we witness it all the time. Like that last hour can be manic. Everyone's trying to get ready.
Oh, God, yeah.
Everything's going on in the room. And I think just to have you there as like the calm to just be like, right, come on, I know how to get you into your dress, because obviously I know that they come for dress fittings all the time, and the mums or the bridesmaids will watch and help, but on the day it all just goes out the window
different ballgame,
sometimes.
isn't
It
it?
is,
And I
yeah.
always say to brides, like, I'm there or Adele's there, we're there. Doesn't really matter what we look like or how we go out the house.
Yeah.
Like with you, you've still got your job to do, so it's different, isn't it? So it's hard. It must be so
Yeah.
much pressure. Whereas if we're there, we're just doing that and going and making sure she's perfect, and we're not there just
We
for
end
the
up
bride.
dressing
We end up
everyone, by
dressing
the way.
everyone and
Yeah.
doing buttonholes
Dressing us.
and dressing the men who never knew how to do buttonholes.
Buttonholes is a big one for us. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you have to do that?
We've
The
And
amount
then
of
you go,
years
which
I've been
side? And I'm
doing.
like,
But
I'm
I think
Googling
what we
because I
find...
I do you know how I know?
always forget.
Women are always right.
Right.
Yeah, that's how we've come to... I robbed that off you, to be fair. I robbed that off him.
It's like a little
Yeah.
cheesy
Remember
line I
that
say
forever.
every wedding. You know, which side? And I go, women are always
And they all
right.
go, oh, isn't that Josh lovely?
Yeah, I know, yeah. That's his coined that phrase, I think. But yeah, buttonholes and bow ties as well. We always get told.
Yeah,
Lads can't do
ties, a
nothing,
little
to be
bit
fair.
Difficult.
The amount of times we've just referred someone to YouTube, but now we know how to do it now, so we're all right.
Yeah.
When we putting the pressure on me, I'm still terrible. Do
It's
not
the
ask me.
easiest.
I am crap.
we turn up with
get
our
the
little
job.
bag of tricks, little needle and thread, snips, scissors.
Yeah.
I was thinking before as well about like when the brides put the dress on in the morning for us, they never know how to like walk in them, if that makes sense, because they've never walked in them.
Oh, they're doing here. I
Well,
have them
we
doing
get
laps.
them all.
So I was about to say,
So
do you
important.
advise? That's
Yeah.
like, right, once you put it on,
Literally,
strut.
I make them do laps. I go, get off the catwalk, go round. They're like having a full workout in here, because I remember when I got married, I was only 27 when I got married, so I was only quite young. And I remember thinking, I'm never going to, and I can sew, I'm never going to be able to walk in this dress because there's so many layers. And I thought I'm going to fall down the aisle. And I had 18 people at my wedding. I didn't have a big, massive wedding. And I remember thinking, I'm going to be showing myself, I'm going to fall over. And,
That's all just,
Someone's been watching the recent podcast, yeah.
just point at Beth and laugh.
It was a bit too long for my height.
We'll
That
have to
was
show you the
problem.
video of that.
Yeah.
I've
I
got
can't
it.
wait to see it.
Yeah,
I
I'll show you
know,
this.
yeah. I think it was boss what you did though. You recovered yourself. I think it was amazing. I would never have thought that fast. It just stays on the floor. And yeah, I make them walk because it is. It's that hard to walk in a wedding.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
think
you've got to be confident.
we say it all the time that when we're on those days and we see obviously the bride getting ready, but a lot of them probably with other shops maybe, they've only ever just stood still
Yeah.
and looked in the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've not like sat down to
Yeah.
eat the
Yeah.
dinner.
Space,
They haven't
haven't
gone to the toilet.
Yeah.
I think
We
we
have to
find
sit
going to the
down
toilet
and
hard.
everything.
Yeah.
You have to
They
do
went
So-
from the changing room, haven't they, to show people, and
Yeah.
then back to get
That's it.
changed again.
Yeah.
And
Even like turning around, I always feel like the biggest problem is
That's hard,
turning
yeah.
around, because
Yeah.
you kind of have to obviously do a loop where
Got to
they're
give
like,
it a little
little kick
throwing the
round.
dress
little
over and
shufty
That's
round.
stuff.
reversing a lorry, isn't it?
It
You've got to like
is.
really think it goes the other way, not that way.
Yeah.
you just don't hear the beep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't hear the beep. Maybe put some beepers on your dresses, yeah.
Sensors.
You're over here first, Dragon's Den will come in.
We make good money off that.
Yeah, we will.
But yeah, I think that.
Yeah, we do. We have them up and down, like walking up and down the catwalk, don't we?
Yeah,
round there.
round there. And I always say if you got hard floor or carpet, because that makes a massive difference. So if the hard floor, I say, okay, well, you'll be all right just on there. But if they've got carpet, they're doing laps in
Yeah.
the church.
Here's one for you, because I see this a lot at weddings where the bride's really particular about keeping it as white or as clean as possible, let's just say. But we know as being
we say
there
it all
all
the
day. They never stay as white or as clean. So do you ever get brides coming in saying to us, right, it needs to stay as fresh as it can do all day? Or do you just say to them, listen, depending on where you get married?
You could do us a favour here, to
Yeah.
be fair, if you told brides, don't expect that to
truth.
stay white, because
Yeah.
we say it all the time, don't we? And they're all very particular, and I get it. Like, they obviously spent a lot of money on it. The
Some
amount of
are,
time
some
we have
aren't.
to say, if you put that on the cleanest floor
Yeah.
in
No,
the
it'll be
world,
rotten.
that will get rotten,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's kind of stopped brides reaching that next level with us, hasn't it? Like, going down a certain route, if they've
Yeah,
picked a
of
certain
course.
venue and they've envisaged themselves standing at a certain place, getting a photo or video of that moment, but then it's like maybe rain the night before, or it's like a little bit dusty if it's
Yeah.
summer or whatever, and it just put them off the whole idea.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they just need to get out that mindset?
Yeah,
There's
I
a
mean,
message.
they wouldn't even believe what actually happens behind there,
Yeah.
really, and how we get things out of dresses,
Yeah.
because things do happen. Like, brides get makeup on the dresses,
Oh,
and
Yeah.
they're like, it's like the world's ends, and we're just like, it's okay, Adele's got this magic solution that gets anything out of everything.
You need to tell everyone this
She's
magic
amazing.
solution.
It's amazing.
That's another one
So-
for the Dragon's Den, right?
Yeah.
We'll
There
do
you
that
go.
with the
Oh,
parents
yeah.
and sandwich
Send you 20 quid in, we'll tell you how you do it.
Yeah, subscription.
Subscriptions on.
We have seen it before on the day, as you said, the makeup side of things.
We've
or
seen
like
blood. Someone's like
Blood.
paper cut
Yeah.
or cut the
Paper
finger
cut,
and
yeah.
blood on the
Yeah.
dress just before they're about to go down.
Just lick that, yeah.
Is that what it is?
Comes out with your own
Bit of
spit.
spit on the
Saliva.
Bit of spit.
Your own
No.
saliva. So if you've got the blood,
Not
your own
spit
saliva will
graphics.
get it
Yeah,
out.
not water.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
We're going from
Disgusting.
bridal shops into chemistry.
disgusting,
Yeah,
isn't
what's
it?
that one?
I know, it is disgusting, but just tell the
but-
bride to just...
My saliva, it has to be their own
No,
saliva.
any
It's
saliva.
Just the DNA
But she
has to
said,
match.
you know, if you
No.
blood, your
Depends
saliva.
how if you want to touch their blood,
But
then
that's
go for
what,
it. But
it's the way she said it. I was like,
That reminds me, like when you were a kid and your mum go, come here, get off your face.
yeah. Get out,
Imagine
you
doing
idiot.
that to someone's
That's why I say,
dress.
just let them do it so you haven't got
Yeah.
to lick their blood.
That's what it is. More from a cleanliness
No,
point
we
of
need to do
view.
as well. It's actually saved this clip, so when it does happen in the future, or maybe we don't
Yeah.
want it to happen, but
There
it
you go.
does.
See?
Right, it's not us saying it's them.
Yeah.
Don't blame us.
Blame us.
No,
But yeah,
and
it
some
does
of the
happen.
dresses get absolutely rotten anyway. They
Yeah,
be
they
absolutely
do. I mean, they
rotten.
bring them back to us to be cleaned, and we recommend a dry cleaning company, or we'll spot clean them. You know, if they get married abroad and there's loads of, obviously, they have sand and leaves and all that, obviously, you know
Oh
what
my God,
happens.
we've seen all
They come back in
kinds.
some states, and I mean it, like, oh my God.
Look like they've
And then
rolled
we have
down
to,
the road.
yeah, I'm like, what have you done? And we have to then, like, prepare them for the party, you know, if they're having a party
Yeah.
afterwards. Yeah, so we do that, don't we? And
Yeah.
they do come back, and they're just like, I'm so sorry. They're like, Ted, apologetic. I'm so sorry to give you that.
They're embarrassed, aren't they? Even
Like,
after, like,
Give it
You've
like
had a
that.
good time.
Look like
I'm
they've been on a
it's like
7-day
the-
bend.
Yeah, it's not like we bought the dress. It's like our
From
dress.
the parties we've had, some of them probably have been on 7-day
Yeah,
benches, to be
I know,
fair.
yeah.
In the nicest possible way. And so you
Yeah.
should. You should
Yeah,
live
of
up,
course,
shouldn't you?
Of course, yeah.
I think they're so big though, aren't they? They're obviously the barns get dirty and people have a bit too much to drink stand on them, and
Yeah.
we've seen like
Yeah.
little
Everyone
rips and
stands on them,
tears
don't
and
they?
stuff,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
we?
I think you've just got to be prepared for that, haven't you? You're buying it for the day, aren't you? If
Yeah.
it's done after the day, it's done.
Yeah.
You know,
Do
it
people
can
come-
always be repaired or whatever.
yeah, do people
Yeah.
come back after, so basically they're not getting married again, sorry, let's just say, and they've had the
Well,
wedding,
that's
and they're just going to put it in the
debatable.
loft. I didn't want to say that, like, but, you know.
You're bringing it up.
She's got the
Maybe he's doing it like a counter here, just to see how many times he
I'm going
mentions.
to tell Steve how many times you mentioned it.
Oh, no.
Do people come
Does it
back
like
when they're
the
putting it in the
second time?
loft to get it cleaned? Because some people, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You get it
There's one
cleaned and then
down
you put
there.
it away, don't you?
Yeah, there's one down the back. And I think it's quite important because it is an expensive dress. So I always say to people, do try and get that done and to preserve it, because I make christening gowns out of people's wedding dresses. So people will, and like mine's in a suitcase, so I'm not the best advertising for it, but I do think it's important because they just, if they get left dirty, it's never going to come out. So I always say to people, just bring it back, get it cleaned, and then you can just keep it and do what you want with it. Yeah.
Some people do that, don't they? They'll like keep it and hand it down generations. You see loads of viral videos
Yeah.
now, don't they, where you see like the nan seeing like the granddaughter in their dress,
yeah.
in their dress from like the
Yeah.
60s or
Yeah.
50s
Same
or
dress?
earlier.
Yeah,
Same
well,
dress.
it gets
Obviously it's been
Yeah,
altered
it's
and
been like
changed,
altered,
that's what I mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
I was just
yeah.
envisioning like a 60s wedding dress then.
No, it gets
Oh yeah, like
modernised,
the big
doesn't it?
puffy
Yeah,
yeah,
the
Yeah.
God, my
yeah.
mum's wedding dress was awful.
But you get that
Sorry,
a lot
Mum.
to like
Yeah, I would
generational
my
thing.
mum's, yeah, but she never had it. She said she passed it, like, I don't know what she did with it. She said she doesn't know where it went, but I would do on my mum's if it was still here, but I don't know where it was, and I think that's lovely.
You tend to find that daughters don't always want, they don't
No.
really want to wear
Especially
the mum's
now.
dress, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to wear best mum's wedding dress.
They
No
really
offence,
wanna wear
Jackie.
it.
No,
Do
it
you know what
was
it is?
bad.
Veils. They tend
Yeah,
to
they
wear
keep
the
veils
veil or the
and
sister's
them on,
veil
yeah.
or whatever. And
Or
even
tiara.
then, sometimes they don't really always want
Wanna
to
wear
wear them. But that's where we've got to come in and be a bit diplomatic, like,
Yeah.
you know.
doesn't
about
really
it.
go.
Imagine that
She
tradition.
doesn't want it, but she
Imagine
wants
that
us to
tradition's
say
the
she
same
doesn't
for
want it.
blokes wearing your dad's
Your
red
dad's
suit.
suit.
Oh, it's the time, big kid time.
I've got my granddad's suit on from like the 20s or something, like...
What was
I
that?
think that
I don't know what that was meant to be. That was meant to be a trumpet where they used to go...
Don't do that ever again. Oh my God.
I thought I could pull that off.
Too good at that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I usually rehearse doing musical instruments at home for moments like this.
Yeah.
10 years I've been waiting for that to come out.
Again. I think we need to have a little break there.
Have a little break.
I've seen on your Instagram page that you do something called a trunk show.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that? Have you got any upcoming or
I
what?
just love the way you ask questions, you know, sometimes.
Well, I'm like, is it right? Is it called a trunk show?
Yeah, it is actually called a trunk show or a designer weekend. So a few of our designers allow us to hold a trunk show. It's like a special weekend, so we take appointments for it. We don't normally open on a Sunday, so it's a Saturday and a Sunday. And the designer will then send us extra dresses that we can't buy the whole collections. We buy 10, 12 a year from each designer, and they'll release 25 dresses from that collection each year. So they launch March and September. So we don't buy them all, obviously, as we're not loaded. So they let us have the trunk show.
I don't know. I'm sitting here, I'm thinking different myself. Where's my church?
And then they just send the dresses in for that weekend, and then obviously gives an opportunity for the brides to see more of the collection, and they also give a discount. So that normally the dresses are RRP, and we can't really deviate from the price. We can offer things, obviously, to help the brides out. We can give free alterations or things like that, just to make it easier for the brides, because obviously things are expensive. But these designers will give us a discount for that weekend, so it's either 10%, 15%, and it's massive, which is great on a £2,000 dress, which can be amazing.
I was sorry to interrupt. I was about to just ask, what is like the price range with a dress? As a bloke, I have no clue.
You kind of start saving, haven't you?
That's what he's doing, he's getting his research in.
This podcast is just me researching if I ever want to get married. I'm like, so how much is the dress again?
Got to save for the ring first.
Oh, God.
It's a new day today, the 29th of February, we're recording this, so
You're
you know.
getting some jelly tops
You
in a
got
minute,
no
yeah.
chance.
Are you engaged, Jeppa?
No.
No, not yet.
That's
Not
my
yet.
age now.
Not yet.
Oh, it's to the pipeline. How much are the dresses anyway? Roughly, what would the usual be like?
I'd probably say on average about 1,800 on average.
Average.
Do you have like a range in here that you go from there to there?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Okay, the most expensive.
2,600
isn't it?
and something now.
Two
yeah.
six.
is the most expensive dress you have?
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, we get brides who come into us, and I mean, with £10,000 dresses to alter.
Wow.
So it's not
Wow.
that, I know.
You just sweating like that?
I was going to say, the insurance on that is like...
No wonder they don't want to get them dirty.
She'll send me a little voice note. You want to see this dress?
Gorgeous.
Want to see this dress?
But
wait to
you
get
know,
in and see it.
it doesn't. Just at the end of the day, they're just a dress.
Yeah.
They don't really intimidate us.
Do you find sometimes, sorry to interrupt you there, do you find sometimes people come in with certain preconceptions of what their budgets might be, and then they'll either go under or above them? Because I know Becky, because me and Becky, on our whole claim to the lifetime, really, we're not materialistic one bit, but I know that when Becky went to pick her dress, I think she went in with a kind of budget in mind, and then in the end it was like £3,500 for this. It was literally
expensive.
one of the most
That's how much you spent on the
expensive. I
dress?
swear to God, yeah. And by the way, I don't let her forget about it. Not that I paid, by the way. I didn't pay. Her mum paid for it. Thanks, Ange. Thanks for paying for that. But I mean, I paid for everything else. But
That's an
no, but she did that
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
and she was very surprised in her tastes and how those tastes differed towards the prices that her tastes would think.
Yeah.
So do you find that all the time, and do you gear people towards what they like rather than what their price is?
Yeah.
Or
We never really discuss budget, you know.
prices.
Don't you?
No.
Unless they bring it up.
Like
Okay.
when they love a dress, they go.
They just
"Oh,
like
how
the
much
dress
is
and
it?"
then that's at the end.
And you're like,
If they
oh well,
bring it up.
you know. Yeah, the dresses are all, the label prices are all on the labels, so they're clearly there.
It's
you
not
know,
like they don't know.
It's no hidden,
And
but
we
they
have-
don't
we have
really
a
look.
limit
You
anyway,
know.
kind of what
Yeah.
we
They'll
will
tell us
choose.
if they've got a budget. When they do
they
tend
will.
to say, if
Yeah.
they come in, they go, right, I don't want to spend over a certain amount. That's fine. And then we just say, you know, that is an expensive one, or, you know, and people will go over the budget if they
It's
have
very
you know.
expensive. I just
Yeah.
thought about that scene in Pretty Woman where she goes in and she goes, so how much? No, I don't think it fits. I just asked how much it was, not how it fits.
Fits, yeah. Yeah,
Bad, aren't I? Love them film references, me.
Yeah.
I'm worried about him. Pretty Woman. Referencing Pretty Woman.
Listen, I know about everything. I'm from the 90s. Well, 80s.
I've only ever seen it once, I think.
Oh my God.
These
So
are
yeah, it's a good
cool.
film. It's a
These
good
are
film.
cool.
Give you
My
that.
husband hadn't seen Dirty Dancing. And his best mate bought him the
That's
DVD.
terrible,
I
that.
know, don't
That's
know.
terrible,
And
that.
What a
his
good best
mate
friend he
bought
is.
him, I know.
Yeah, lad, there's one for you.
DVD
Dirty Dancing.
Honest to God. And he was like, yeah, made him watch
How old was he when he got this DVD bought for him?
it. Probably about 30, so
Yeah.
about 12
Wait,
years
did he
ago.
watch
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, he did. I
Did he
made
love
him.
it?
Yeah, he loved it. Of course
Does
he
he,
did.
does he now make
Life-changing
references to the
life-changing,
film?
Yeah, he does a little bit.
Patrick Swayze
If
impersonation.
you're not film
Oh, yeah.
referencing some of these like big iconic
Maybe we could do
films,
that, Dan.
like
I
I
You're
was
Good Woman and
literally
that,
about to say, this
you're
is
emotionally
the
detached
Yeah.
if you're not referencing
Ryan's
these
got the
films.
outfit on, almost just need to give him the little Cuban heels, don't we?
Yeah.
You've watched that film too many times. You're referencing way too much. Patrick Swayze fan.
Patrick Swayze's a beast, that's why.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He is.
Don't.
Oh, I know.
I know.
See?
Hey, the Swayze.
He's probably here floating
He
out
will
somewhere.
be.
know.
Loads of spin.
With all
I
our
can actually
souls
feel
and
his presence
Is he
myself.
dead?
Matty's head just fell off. Is he dead? Never mind.
You haven't got a
Matty
clue,
even.
Matty.
I've never seen it all the way through.
What, the film? He doesn't die at the end of the film.
Yeah, you rented the DVD.
She'll rent it.
I'll rent it. Do you remember when you used to be able to rent that? Do you remember? Do you remember?
Yeah. Put the boot in the car.
I used to
Does
love
anyone
that.
have you sent them
Funnily
the boot in
enough,
the
I was
video,
actually,
man?
we've obviously just got our new office the other day, and I was rooting through what I had was my old office in our garden, and I was looking through these bin bags that I brought from from my mum's to our first house to our second
Followed
house, and
you.
now in this bin bag of stuff,
Yeah.
and it was just dead interesting because I got it all out, and I was like, wow,
I love doing
CDs, DVDs. Like, and they just
Tapes.
don't even get talked about
Nah.
anymore.
Yeah,
I know
tapes is
tapes.
probably
There was
going
no
further
tapes
back.
in there. That's
VCR
before your
tapes.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, VCR
No, I
tapes.
remember.
Yeah, videotape.
And the
Loads
Betamax.
in the loft, yeah.
But no, and it was dead interesting just to pick these things out, and I was like, will I ever use
You'll
them
never
again?
ever.
Ryan's
Like-
like, oh,
My
they've got his
videos on
phones.
DVD, my wedding, is filmed on a DVD because we didn't have a videographer, and it was filmed on, like a little JVC DVD, the little
yeah.
mini DVDs.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I've got our
Well, when
wedding
we started
videos.
off, we used to give DVDs out. So that's how
Really?
long, that's how long we've been doing it.
Yeah.
So,
Back in our day.
Back in our
Back
day.
in our day, you had
Back in our
DVDs. Like, none of these bloody online clouds these days.
God, it was videos in my day. Yeah.
did it come up from the
Yeah,
top?
Betamax remote was about that big on a wire.
Like that. Turn that telly on.
And then you used to
all
store
shown
them
our
in them
age.
cases that look like books. Do you remember them?
My
You don't
dad-
remember
my
Yeah,
them?
I can.
Did you?
Yeah, we had it us. Yeah.
It looked like it had a library, but it was
Yeah.
just all like taping
Red
to the top
and
of
then
the
green
box
on
and
the
all
We
that.
never used them though, was that? They just got like...
And my dad had money in it.
All of these things will come back around, won't they?
Yeah,
Because
I think so,
people,
yeah.
people started to listen to Walkmans again now, haven't they? Like
yeah,
Sony
yeah.
have seen a
Cool,
big
isn't it?
thing
Yeah.
with Walkmans, wired headphones. That just seems like a joke nowadays, doesn't it?
These are on the way back.
CDs are on the way back. So
Really?
The vinyl started coming back, didn't they, as well? Yeah.
pop culture,
Vinyls,
like
yeah.
Culture, yeah.
Yeah.
I found loads of vinyls as well, Scout House, so
Yeah.
not like classic vinyls,
Oh, they'd be
House.
good, Dad.
but like
Oh, I've got loads of vinyls in my dad's.
They'd be good.
Yeah, I've got
lovely.
something to play
Scouse
with
House.
as well.
Next time we have
Scouse
a
House.
party, we'll have to set up a little deck
Yeah.
for you, Ryan. You can bring
Definitely.
your
Come
Scout
down.
House.
used to be a
down,
bedroom
vinyl.
DJ back in my
Do the
day, you know.
DJ.
Back before I took photos.
What are you doing tonight for our...
You're getting called in.
You're getting called in.
I'll cost you.
You're in demand.
Cost ya.
It's question time. So I'm just waiting for the signal of Matty for the jingle because I can't hear it.
We'll have to perfect that jingle, won't
Yeah.
we?
So we have got a few questions for you. These can be quick fire ones. I felt like on last week's episode with Lucy, they were quick fire. So it's up to you. Would you ever tell a mother of the bride / groom to not wear certain colours, i.e. ivory, white, etc.? Yeah.
Yeah.
To no go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think they should tone in. I would tell them. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a nice way. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say you can't wear that.
I would.
'Cause
I'd
they
say
can
you're
wear
not
what they
having
want.
Get out!
She would just tell it as it is.
But that's the best way to be
I'm a bit
sometimes as
more
well, isn't it?
diplomatic.
I think when it comes to someone's wedding, I'm a bit more like you. Yeah, just do what you think's
what you
best.
want.
But it's better to be more
Of
on your
course.
wedding day. You've got to be,
Yeah.
don't wear it.
Yeah.
Unless the bride says
Says.
that's okay.
Yeah.
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 Fair do.
It's like a golden rule. You just
Yeah.
It's a
golden
golden
rule,
rule,
isn't it? Like it
Yeah.
shouldn't
Yeah.
happen really.
Yeah.
We have had it
But we
before,
have
though.
heard of it nearly
Oh, yeah.
happening,
I've
or
been to a wedding
Yeah.
where a guest has had an ivory dress on with a big train over her arm.
Yeah.
you just
Wow.
couldn't.
Yeah, honestly,
It's like, you
honestly.
just couldn't do that, could you?
No.
Turn up like
Front,
that.
innit? Proper
Terrible.
front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question. Do wedding dresses sizes run the same as normal clothes, or is it different?
it's different. They're actually a lot smaller than normal sizes. So obviously, like, people will be like, what size is this? And I go, don't even worry about the size as long as it fits you. That's my problem. I worry about what size to get you, because it's dead intimidating if you're a size 12 and you're putting on a 16.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I tell people not to worry, and every design is different, isn't it? You know, no two designers have the same sizing. They're
all
completely
US
mad.
sizes and
yeah,
different
they're American,
sizing.
and I just tell people not to worry about it.
So
Yeah.
I love that, you know, because
Yeah.
I think, again, if anyone's listening from a bride's point of view who hasn't already got the dress and stuff like that, and as you say, they come in and someone goes, yeah, that's a size 16, she goes, but I'm a size 12.
Yeah.
It shouldn't, as you say.
know.
It's
And I think
it's not
already
about
you're
weight,
probably
is it?
insecure. You
Yeah.
want to feel gorgeous, and if you're going,
Makes
well,
no
that's
odds,
like
does
2
it?
sizes big, you're like, oh my god, I need to go on a
And
diet
you
when you
look at
don't.
yourself stark in the mirror. It's just
Horrible.
Yeah, you don't,
And
you
plus,
don't need to
like,
know
we
that.
can look at a dress and go, it probably won't fit, and you sort of gauge that beforehand, and there's ways and means that we can get it on them and make sure it looks okay without them even knowing
Yeah.
that it doesn't
Yeah.
fit. Do you know what I mean? So
If they loved a dress that was too small, because obviously if it's too big, you can
Yeah.
obviously make it smaller,
Yeah.
but could you make it bigger, or is that not?
When they're trying it on an appointment, you mean?
Yeah, like say they
Yeah.
loved a dress and obviously they needed the bigger size. Can you make it bigger? Like, can
well,
you
it depends.
alter?
We can, yeah. I mean, obviously they're all ordered in, so the samples are just the samples that we choose to buy it in, and we buy, obviously, depending on the design, we'll buy it in
Yeah.
a certain size. Certain people won't wear certain styles, so we just trying to make it look as best as it will
Yeah.
on the day.
Yeah.
You know,
In
to
the
get
fitting
them
room,
to.
they want an appointment, though, we've got little tricks to get it on
Yeah.
on that body, on that person, on that
Yeah.
bride,
How it should
looking
be.
as good as it can, you know.
So,
Yeah.
I was just going to say this before, I'm talking about like that you order in from these different designers. Who are your, I guess, go-to or favourite dress designers that you order from the most? Let's not
Now
put you
you're
on the
spilling
spot.
it, see, now, right?
But I mean, like, you know.
Tell us your
I
favourites.
love Martin Thornberg. We also do Sophia Tolley.
Yeah.
Um,
We only really do 3 designers apart from
Yeah.
our own range that we do, which
Yeah.
is bespoke. So
Yeah.
we do Sophia Tolley, Martin Thornberg and Tanya Grigg, and they're all very different.
and they're all equally as gorgeous.
equally as
for
gorgeous, so they all offer
different
something
reasons.
different for the bride. So Sophia Tolley is an Australian designer, very feminine, girly. Martin Thornberg's very similar, but like different,
edgy,
a little
bit
bit
more
edgy, a bit
edgier.
more modern.
Yeah.
And Tanya Grigg is a Ukrainian designer, and she's absolutely amazing at what
Oh
she
my
does.
God.
Very unique
incredible.
designs, very clever at how she makes things. I'm just looking at one of her dresses there, because we can sew as well, we can see how clever they actually are, and very good price for what they are.
Yeah.
Very
Brilliant.
fast.
You've just
Going
sold
back to the
3 of them
I
price.
know,
today.
yeah.
I don't need a
Don't know which one to
Yeah.
buy now.
So we only have that many. Like, a lot of shops will have like 8 designers and stuff. I would just never do that. I think that's mad, because you're getting all you want out of them 3, and you're
Yeah.
dead
Yeah.
loyal to
Yeah.
the 3, and they're loyal
You're
to
ticking the
us.
boxes with them 3.
Yeah, I think so.
Amazing. Next question. Do I need to bring anything to a dress fitting?
Just a pair of knickers.
Okay.
I knew she was going to say
You got your
that.
knickers?
Can you see what's happened
Throw
before?
the on.
Can you tell what we've
I was-
had before?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. That's what to say.
As long
That
as
must
they've
be
got knickers.
an...
I know,
Any
yeah.
certain type of knickers? Should you wear like?
You can't even
Whatever
see
ones
anything
you
under.
want.
Calvin Klein's all right.
However.
Yeah, you're all right in your
they'll be all right
Calvin.
today.
Sad.
Yeah.
Nude colour is best.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't matter.
No.
Why nude?
Just
You
don't
can't
show
see
if you want to
nude
meet the
under ivory,
dresses.
yeah.
So some people come in black underwear, which a lot of people wear, and you can sometimes see
And you can
them.
see
Depending
white
on what
sometimes.
style
yeah,
of dress.
Yeah. So yeah, it
But
depends.
you don't have to wear anything special.
No.
You can just come in your everyday knickers, as long as you've got a pair of knickers on.
The dresses do it for you.
We're not that
yeah.
type of shop in here.
What about footwear? Is footwear
We have
important?
shoes, yeah. I mean, people sometimes bring their own shoes,
Yeah,
don't they?
they
Because
do.
they'll want to wear a specific height. But we have shoes and try on. And then normally when they're on there, the dress will fall down. So you can just sort of
Yeah.
see how it will
Yeah.
hang at the bottom.
Size 9 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a shoe on there.
Yeah.
Size 7, that'll do you.
What more do you need to fit you into anything, love?
Cinderella.
Final question. How many dress changes is too many?
Oh.
So this question's a little bit controversial because it's come from someone we can all guess.
Mimi Bell. Of course, yes. Mimi Bell.
Shall we
Is
send
that
She's
in?
like a venue dresser.
Ah,
But
right, okay.
Shall we
she
send in the
always sends in the
controversial
controversial.
questions?
Yeah.
Ah,
And we
right,
love
okay.
it for it.
Oh, right, okay. I beg your pardon. I'd say 2, most. Not needed anymore.
No.
No.
I think more than 2 is excessive, but each to their own.
Yeah.
Is this like when you go and this is your daytime dress, this is your nighttime dress? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
So where's
Yeah.
your fit a first one in,
Yeah, I
really?
suppose,
And
yeah.
do you want to be going back to your room to get changed 3 times or
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah.
Do you really want to take that time out your day? And
Do you know what I
miss-
see loads of them dresses
miss it?
that like come apart in pieces?
Yeah.
So it's one dress,
Transformables.
but there's like 3 variations
Yeah,
of it or something
Tanya
like that.
Grigg do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, that
Yeah, they
Ukrainian
do.
designer
Yeah.
we're talking about, they do loads of that. So you can have about 3 different looks with one gown.
That's the way to
And
do
we
it, I
like
think.
doing that.
that,
I
yeah.
love all
Isn't it?
that.
I think that
Yeah.
makes total sense as
Yeah,
well. 'cause
I think
Yeah.
so.
I love that you're starting to make
you know, I do. No, but we do get involved on the day, don't we? Like
Yeah.
even when it comes to the night, the amount of times I've took veils out of like
Yeah.
brides here,
Yeah.
or whatever. We've
Changing
been
it up.
here, haven't we?
Yeah.
Or if they've took like where they have that like
Skirt off.
whatever
Yeah.
it's called, I don't know.
Overskirt.
Like, and they feel more comfortable at night time dancing around and
Yeah.
something that's a little bit less to the ground. Shall we just say?
Yeah, I think that's
we
the
did
better
one
way.
once where we detached
zipped
the
it
bottom
off.
part
Yeah,
of the
dyed
dress.
it
It was like a
that,
proper
yeah.
mermaid trumpet dress. We detached that and
Turned
we
into a
did
The
midget.
with
zip
the
put on it, yeah.
Yeah,
Zip
and then
on.
the lace hid all the zip and everything, invisible zip obviously, and then she just took that off in the evening.
Yeah,
That's
and she's got
definitely
a
the
bit
best
She was
way
a broad,
forward.
yeah,
Modern
she
day
was in the
bride,
broad
I know,
bride, yeah.
I know.
It
Well,
was
I just think
great.
you spend that much money on it, you're not going to want to take it
No,
off, really.
no.
So if you could alter it, like take off a sleeve
Yeah.
or make it
Yeah,
shorter, then that's
Definitely.
just perfect.
Yeah, I think that.
We love
Definitely.
that.
Coming on to our, like, thanks for answering them questions, by the way, because I think people who are listening, who are coming to bridal shops in the future, are going to take something from it, i.e. me as well. And it was just, it's fascinating and interesting, because I'm probably never going to step foot into another bridal shop, let's be honest. But because it is what day is it today? 29th of February, which is the leap year, which is famous for women proposing to men. We've asked our followers, tell us your proposal stories. So I'll go through. We've had 3 put in. One being, they're all quite sarcastic, to be honest with you, and funny. First one is from Lois Turner, who's a hairdresser.
Yeah.
We love Lois as well, she's amazing. And she said she got proposed at Bangkok on the State Tower of the Hangover film.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really? Oh, that sounds good.
Whether he did it for that reason, I don't know. Whether he's went,
That's where it was.
will you marry me? By the way, this is off the Hangover.
Say yeah.
A great story to tell the kids this, love.
Yeah.
Lois, love it. I hope you loved it as well, and you said yes.
Romantic.
Yeah.
Another one from another Hair by Leah. We love her as well. She's amazing. And she's just put, okay, so, what does that mean? I don't think she's been proposed to, or she has, or she's
I
waiting
think she
to.
might be engaged. I don't know.
Maybe she's
Maybe
got a
there's
long
a
really
story.
long one coming,
Yeah,
isn't
maybe
there?
she's got a really
Yeah.
long
Long
story.
story
She's
coming.
prepping you for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Leah will be on probably at some point, so we'll get that
Oh,
story.
Yeah,
out
we
of
will
her.
get that story from
Maybe
you.
that's what she's doing. She's keeping you
Yeah,
hanging on.
yeah. Suspense.
You know what? That's a good
I
way
think
of
that's
looking
what
at
it
that.
is, yeah.
And the next one is from this girl. I don't really recognise the name. Beth. She's put, haven't got one yet.
I just thought, yeah,
What a way to, what a sad way to end the
I
podcast.
didn't think they were going to get read out.
Oh, have I just
She's
took
been,
that upon
she's been
myself?
outed, yeah.
I've outed yet to everyone.
You
think I've been asked.
Yeah, you know where you come.
Beth knows where she's going
Yeah.
for like full bridal
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
I know, definitely. When the time comes, I'll be back, girls.
Oh,
don't worry.
good.
No pressure.
I know.
You look
pressure.
gorgeous in them.
Yeah,
all.
you will, I know.
You'll be able to
You look
choose
lovely in
whatever
every
you
one.
want. You look
Look
amazing.
at them. They're just...
I know.
No,
No, I don't even need them. Let's just put them on.
Yeah.
I'm cut to putting the dresses on. I was actually do you know what? This is the end of the podcast, by the way, so we can just wrap it up and say thanks for coming on and stuff like that.
Thank you.
Thank
But-
We really have
Thank you.
appreciated it. Just
Say goodbyes.
we knew that today was going to be a great day. And we're just very thankful for your
We're
time,
thankful
really,
for
and
you. Thank
allowing
you.
us
Thank
to
you
like
so much.
clog up your space. And you've given us,
anytime.
you've given. Well, I only lived down there, so you'd be the worst,
Don't say that
be the
to
worst
me.
thing you've ever said.
You
That.
don't even need an invite. It's just
No,
not. It's
but
fine.
no, we think that you've give really good insight today, and we knew that you would, to be fair. And I think for any brides who are thinking about shopping around, this is definitely the place that you want to see, and then use the people that you definitely want to meet.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
thank you.
so
That's
much.
lovely. Thank you for
Thank
doing
you.
it.
Perfect.
And scene.
Scene. Thank you so much, by the way.
Thanks a lot.
I love that.